Shalom. Um, I'll give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shema Shai, and I'm gonna give double honor to Apostle and teacher Grant Nelson for my line of truth. I'm just gonna start here in Luke 21. And when you shall see 21:20, when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh. And this is talking about 70 AD, when you had the Romans launch, a full-on attack on our people. And the same thing is being repeated now, because even if you go in this in the Wikipedia, it mentions how the Romans were descendants of Esau. But the same thing is being repeated now, and you see our people being compassed about with not only Esau but UN, right? You have Esau building up and developing his death grid, the whole 5G death grid, the 5G moving military equipment everywhere, setting up FEMA camps, moving around those coffins, this whole jab thing, moving forward to, like, you have Sweden, and other countries over there actually putting people in detainment centers, for not getting jabbed, or for having the virus, or being suspected of having the virus. But you're gonna have those type of things going on here in America. You already have your leaders and whatnot talking about doing those type of things. Like I mentioned, UN. You have Esau want to bring the UN over here. Why does he want to do that? But these nations, and ultimately Esau, they're gonna launch a full-on attack on our people once again. I'm gonna go to Luke 21:20, the blue letter. And one of the last videos I put up mentioned how to prepare for the evil day. That evil day is what? Is Jacob's trouble. Because there's going to be a lot of, the scriptures talk about how it's going to be the worst time there's ever been, the worst time that ever will be. So, that is indeed, it's not necessarily going to be a day, but that's just, that's just going to be, an evil time period of time. Now, you just want to go to this. So I remember, let me see here. Because, that's talking about the people rather than, and here it is. It says denotes either the city itself or the inhabitants, right? And, you have in the scriptures where Jerusalem is referred to, the people itself are referred to Jerusalem, rather than a literal city. So, Jerusalem, our people, are going to be, surrounded by armies once again. Go back up to 18. But there shall not an hair of your head perish. And this is talking about the elect. You're going to have, let me see. You're going to have Yahweh Shema Shai protect those who use, the remnant. Isaiah 59 and 19. So shall they fear the name of the Lord Yahweh Shema Shai from the west, and his glory from the rising of the sun. When the enemy shall come in like a flood, the Spirit of the Lord shall lift up a standard against them. And the word standard, it goes back into a way to escape. When you take into account the scripture mentions how the enemy is going to come in like a flood. You know, when you watch videos of, you know, like an actual flood, everything and anything gets washed away. And that's how Esau is going to come through on our people with his armies. But the scriptures talk about how, like, what? Not a hair of your head shall perish. The elect are going to be given a way to escape, whether that's fighting back or whether that's literally, you know, literally escaping. And, you know, I was about to say, when you take into account, you know, the how, you know, like you know, it's likened to the flood. You're gonna have troops. Everything's gonna be fucking locked down. You seen a little example of that when you had during the you know, the first lockdown, right? Everything was locked. Not everything, but a lot of shit was locked down. Troops roaming the streets in some states. Yeah, videos of that. That was just nothing more than a little taste of what's to come. You know, when you go into like, I know there's one movie, Red Dawn, and then there's a remake. But when you go into that movie, you had, you know, Chinese troops dropping down, shutting everything down. You know, niggas getting tossed in the camps. You know, whatever the hell happened to them, but everything was locked down. You know, like I said, troops roaming the streets. And during the first one, or the original one, you know, it was so bad to where you had to have the main characters actually camped out in the woods. You know, you couldn't go anywhere within the city. But, you know, this is going to be even worse than that, because Esau has, not only does he have flesh and blood soldiers, but he also has soldiers made of metal and wires. You know, your androids. They're already showing you robot dogs, androids fucking jumping however many feet in the fucking air. You know, that's only a preview of what they actually have. They have literal androids. They're working on artificial intelligence, and it's, you know, it's coming along swimmingly. They have fucking androids and Terminators. You know, they have RoboCops. You know, the shit, I don't know if you ever seen the movie I, Robot. They do have that shit. You know, if they're working on artificial intelligence, you know, you bet your ass that they have fucking androids. You know? But that's the reason why, you know, going back to one of the videos, you know, I made, and, you know, myriad of, you know, the brothers videos, you know, preparing how, first through the spirit, right? Yeah, Isaiah 33:6, wisdom, knowledge to be stability of thy times. How, you know, what's the best way to prepare? By getting your shit right with the Lord. Because you yourself can't, you know, you can't fight what's coming. You go to Psalm 17:13, mentions how Esau is a Lord's sword. You know, you know, Yahweh Shemashah is the one telling Esau, you know, to, okay, now it's time to roll in these niggas. You know, he's the one who gave him you know, the sword, his power. So it only makes sense to go to Esau's boss for help. You know, I often think one of my favorite acts in going to the scriptures, how Samson fought all the Philistines. You know, there's a little there's actually a movie, Samson. You know, it was trash compared to, you know, how it actually was. You know, I'll imagine it a lot more animated, if, you know, that's the right way to say that, than what they actually did in the movie. But you know, the character in the movie, he was like, you had these Philistines coming on him like a flood. He, you know, the scripture mentions how the Spirit of the Lord came upon him, and then he got the tearing ass. You know, it's gonna be the same thing with the hopeful elect. You know, those with the elect, you know, those soldiers are gonna come through whatever wild beast, you know, whatever the hell the shit storm's gonna come through. You're gonna have the elect, you know, tearing their way out of it, or escaping, or however way that the Lord deems fit for them to get out of it. I know I hit this in another video, but there's a scripture, I think it's the second Esdras. It mentions, prepare thyself to that battle or something like that. And once again, how do you do that? By seeking the Lord. Because once again, your preps, it's not, it's wise to, get, the prep, but it's not wise to solely rely on that when, when your back is against the wall, Verse 30, 29. And he spake to them a parable, behold, the fig tree and all the trees, when they now shoot forth, ye see and know of your own selves that summer is now nigh at hand. And what, just like he's comparing to how when, the fig from the tree, it's blooming. The process of it, actually blooming. The prophecies are the same way, When it fully blooms, when the prophecies are actually, are happening, that's when you know that, like it says right here in verse 31. So likewise, when you see these things come to pass, right, know ye that the kingdom of Yahweh is nigh at hand, right? So verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass away till all be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. And take heed to yourselves, lest at any time your hearts be overcharged with surfeiting and drunkenness and cares of this life, and so that that day come upon you unawares, like the majority of these people are, right? You have this whole thing going on with Russia and Ukraine. If they end up getting in the war, then you're likely going to have NATO joining in, and you're going to have all their allies joining in. So what is that? That's world war right there. Taking a look at these everyday people, going about their lives as if, as if none of this shit is actually happening. In verse 35, for as a snare shall it come on all them that dwell on the face of the whole earth. Like what? When all these things actually happen, the majority of these people are going to get caught off guard. Watch ye therefore and pray always, that ye may be accounted worthy to escape all these things that shall come to pass and stand before the Son of Man. That's another, praying is another big thing of when it comes to preparation. That, that was pretty much it. Didn't really have all that much. Let me see if there was anything else I wanted to get. No, yeah, that was it. Just wanted to expound upon a couple of scriptures I was reading earlier this morning. So y'all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bashima, Shabbat, Shem, Gakodash, and get Dubban, so apostle, elder, and teacher, great Muslim from our land of truth. Shalom to the hopeful elect of Israel, and destruction of Babylon, the great America.